Hi all, welcome to Salesforce in 5 minutes. In this video, we are going to understand if conditions in Salesforce or in Apex. But before getting started, if you really like my videos, I request you to please subscribe to this channel. So, if is nothing but a conditional statement, and this answer is very programmatical or very logical. But let's understand it with a real time example. Let's understand it with a normal English what if statement means. So, I will just normally write in English. Do not go into the logical mode, but just read it as a plain text. Like, if I win a lottery, I will buy a car. Okay, so this is just a normal statement, normal English statement. So if I win a lottery, I will buy a car. This is a normal English statement. Now in the logical terms, in Salesforce or in the coding terms, even if it is in Java or any other coding terms, this can be written in logical terms that this is a condition, right? If I win a lottery, okay, this is a condition that if I win a lottery, okay, if I'm going to win a lottery, only then I'm going to buy a car, right? This is a consequence. If this condition, whatever the condition, this is the condition, okay, if this condition becomes true, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and buy a car. So here this is a condition, okay, and if this condition becomes true, what's going to happen is that I am going to execute this particular code of statement that I will buy a car if I win a lottery, or in that case I will go ahead and buy a car. In normal English terms, this is what it is, right? It is first we add a condition over here inside the if, and hence if the condition becomes true, we go and execute this part of the statement. So basically, this is why if is called as a conditional statement. So you add a condition: if I win a lottery, then I will buy a car. Simple. But what if I do not win a lottery? Okay. In that cases, you can also add it as else. Else I won't buy a car. Right? So in normal terms, if the condition becomes true, if this condition becomes true, okay, then I will go ahead and do particular thing. Else I will do this thing. So if I write it in the terms of coding, if condition execute this block, else execute else block. So this is in the terms of coding, normal coding. If this condition becomes true, whatever the condition that I'm going to specify over here, if this becomes true, then I'll execute this block. Else I'm going to go ahead and execute this block. Okay, so let's jump back to our developer console right now. What I have done is I have created a variable named as name, right? If you can see at the top, I have created a variable named as Salesforce in 5 minutes. I've created this variable, and inside this function I'm trying to check whether the name is equal to Salesforce in 5 minutes, right? This is a condition. Again, this is a condition. If you compare it with this is nothing but the condition. If my name is Salesforce in 5 minutes, then what I'm trying to do is thanks for subscribing. Another thing, okay, you might be thinking why there is double equals to, right? Why there is double equals to and why there is single equals to over here. Now the single equals to means assignment. What do I mean by that is this name variable, I'm assigning Salesforce in 5 minutes this value to this variable, that is the name variable, using this equals to statement. Okay, one equals to statement, this means I'm assigning this value to this variable, okay, from uh, right to left. Okay, that is I'm assigning this value to this variable. But if I'm using 2 equals to, this means I'm checking, okay, whether name is equals to Salesforce. This means I'm checking whether the variable name value is Salesforce in 5 minutes or not. If it is, then I'm printing thanks for subscribing. Else what I'm going to say, system.debug, watch videos, you will subscribe. So what I'm simply doing is I'm checking whether the name is equals to Salesforce in 5 minutes. If it is name is equals to Salesforce in 5 minutes, then I'm executing this statement. If not, then it will go ahead and execute this statement. Let's try to execute this particular function. My new dot. Okay, let's execute it. As my name is Salesforce in 5 minutes, that's why it's going to go inside the if block. Thanks for subscribing. That is this block. Okay, but if I add something else like 1 over here, it's going to go inside else block because the values are not matching perfectly fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and again execute it. In this case, now it will go inside the else block as my value is not matching. Watch videos, you will subscribe. So what happened is this condition was true, if the answer, like if you ask this question, is name is equals to Salesforce in 5 minutes, is the name value, is it Salesforce in 5 minutes? No, it is not, right? So that's why, because it has one at the end, that's why it's going inside the else statement. But if it becomes true, this statement becomes true, in that cases we are going to go inside thanks for subscribing. Now another thing that you need to take care of is understand is that the operators inside Salesforce or inside any coding language. Okay, so let's say if the statement 1 or the condition 1, we can say condition and condition 2. Okay, so if you know about it already, then it's fine, but if you do not know, this can be really helpful to you to understand and or statements. So if the condition 1, you have specified two condition 1 and condition 2, if this both becomes true, in case of and, if both of these conditions are true, only then your output will be true. Okay, so if you have already learned about it, if the condition 1 and condition 2 is also true, then in that case only the output is true. But on the other hand, if it is true and next one is false, the second condition is false, this means the output would be false. But in the case of or, if any of this condition out of this, right, if true and true, in case of or, any of this condition is true. So for an example, if I do this, it's going to be true. Okay, if any of this condition is true, still the value is going to be true. Only if both are for false, only then the output would be false. Okay, so in case of and, if both of them are true, only then the output is true. If any of them is false, then it's false. But if both of the condition are true, or both of the condition are false, only in that case the or becomes false. Okay, now let's come back to our apex class. So let's say I have one more condition. Okay, let's say I am creating a boolean, let's say subscribed. Okay, I've created a variable. Okay, and I am making as true. Okay, now along with this is one condition, that name is equals Salesforce in 5 minutes, and subscribed equals to true. Okay, what I'm trying to check whether the name is Salesforce in 5 minutes and is subscribe equals to true. So this is first condition, that is Salesforce in 5 minutes, name equals to Salesforce in 5 minutes. Okay, so as I'm using and, let's focus on this. The condition 1 is that name equals to Salesforce in 5 minutes. That is not true, right? Then but the name is Salesforce in 5 minutes and 1 is also there at the end, so that's why the first condition is going to become false. And the next condition, that is subscribe equals to true, yes, the subscribe is equals to true. So in that case the next condition will become true. But in this case, if any of them is false, then the output would be false, and hence as it is false, it's going to go inside the else statement. Let's check it out. So if you can see, watch videos, you will subscribe. We went into the else statement, right? We went into the else statement because my first condition is false, but the second condition is true. And I'm using and, both of this condition must be true. In that case only I will be executing this statement, else I will be going inside the next statement. But on the other hand, if I change it to or, and or in Salesforce can be written using this two pipes. If I use this, that is nothing but or, if any of this condition becomes true, that is this condition is becoming true, that subscribe the value of the subscribe is true, in that cases we will automatically go inside the if condition. See, thanks for subscribing. So what actually happened is, we use and we use or along with this. Also we understood how the if condition work. If you want, you can also add more and more conditions if you want, like for an example, else if, you can also add else if, let's say name equals to new sub, let's say and subscribed equals to false, right? So what I'm trying to check over here is that if name, the value of this name variable is equals to new sub. So this is how we can add one more condition inside the if condition, that is else if, that if name equals to new subs and the subscribed equals to false, in that cases we are going to be inside else if condition. So I'm going to narrate it as else if condition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the value of this name as new subs and I'm going to make the value of this as false. Now, as my name is new subs, and in the first condition, I am checking whether the name is Salesforce in 5 minutes. It's not true, right? And the second condition is also becoming the subscribed equals to true, but actually the subscribed value is false. So the first if is not going to get executed, but instead of that, else if is going to execute because name value is new subs and subscribed is also false. So if I execute this particular piece of code, we are going to go inside the else if condition. So you can see else if condition. But even if I make this one as true, I will go inside the if condition. The reason is because we are using or over here. And inside or, if any of this condition, that is subscribe equals to true, becomes true, in that cases the that particular statement is going to execute. So in this case, this is going to execute. See, thanks for subscribing. So this is how you can use if condition to manipulate the statements. If you found this video helpful, I request you to please subscribe to this channel.